There's such a long history here at Bethlehem Baptist of service to the Lord. This ministry is more than 100 years old. For more than a century, this church has been known for outreach in the community. The building's been here, for about 60 years. And I think in the 1960s, the school building was built. And OCA has about 40 years behind it when I became a teacher here. I actually taught for 3 years here, AP Physics, AP Calculus. And I have such happy memories of not just the students and their families, but the many solid men and women that I met here at this church.
So the end of my freshman year, the school announced, it was 2003, they announced that they were going to close the school. I had been here for 3 years, my mom was a teacher, and I know the entire student body and staff were just devastated to hear that news. We were like a family, and we were losing our home. Church and the school were very intimately connected. Families with students here would be sometimes members of the church. They were invested in the church. The closure of the school was very, very hard on the church and the community.
The deacons asked me if I knew any churches that we could partner with, and I told them I pretty much has asked all the churches in our area that would have been interested. And so I just said we need to make this a matter of prayer and see what God has. That Saturday, I got a call from Tom Hardman, and he said, Don, I don't know if you would be interested in this or not, but we're looking to maybe partner with the church to be able to help with people, help with finances, to really kind of pump life in that. Is that something you're interested in? I just started smiling to myself. I know Tom didn't see me, but I said, Tom, I have to say yes because I can't say no. We were just praying about that. Tom didn't tell me that the elder board at Fellowship was also praying that God would lead him to a church to partner with that very night.
Yeah, it was January 4th of this year that we prayed this bold prayer. We got on our hands and knees as elders and we asked God to open a door for us to expand. I gotta be honest, it didn't come as any surprise when on January 5th, the very next day, Tom Hardman, one of our elders, he calls me and he's like, you are never gonna believe this. I said, Tom, I'm ready, tell me. He said, God's opened a door.
I don't think we're all that far from Fellowship out in Bainbridge. I'm going to guess and say it's around 10, maybe 12 miles of physical distance between the two. But as far as community goes, it's a pretty big difference between being out in Bainbridge versus being here in Orange. And we really feel strongly that there needs to be a presence we can come to and commit to here. The intent overall is to have pastors speaking at both churches. And we will get to that point in some time, but there'll be a little bit of an adjustment growing period that we'll have to go through to get there.
So I'll have the honor of being the campus pastor here and really building relationships with you that are going to be a part of Bethlehem and the Fellowship Orange campus. We know that there's a massive legacy that we're taking over here, and we can't wait to continue that legacy. And so we're hoping by the end of the year, we'll have that all up and running, and I can't wait to enjoy it with you.
For us as elders, it's getting on board and understanding. You don't want to run too fast, and yet you want to keep up. We are dealing with a world that is in desperate need. We need to not only be trained, but to have the platforms to be able to reach. So that's why we're doing what we're doing.
I kept telling people and telling our people, when you look around, you see these people, that's answer to prayer. We were asking God to send people. I expected him to send them one family at a time, not a whole caravan to come flying into our church parking lot. You know, I think it's kind of like a death, but we serve a God that's great in resurrecting things. And even though Lazarus was at the point where he stunk, God renewed him. And so I have a feeling that we're going to see a great resurrection of what looks like death, but to God's glory and even better than what it was.
I've been attending Fellowship for a little over a decade, and over the last couple years, Pastor Aaron has talked about looking for a location on the east side of Cleveland, and that has always felt very exciting to me, but kind of distant. Just this past weekend to learn that our new location is going to be here at Bethlehem was really exciting for me and a very emotional and full circle moment.
We are so aware that we stand on the shoulders of mighty men and women of faith. That's what this place represents. It's over 100 years we've seen this as a life-giving, Bible, gospel-centered church. And that's what we want to see into the future. I cannot wait to see this church thriving with new people and families. I can't wait to see young people running on this basketball court, on the soccer fields, filling these classrooms. As a church fellowship, we have a heart for the next generation. We believe that the next generation is key to the church thriving into the future.
Amos chapter 3, verse 3 asks that rhetorical question, can two walk together unless they are agreed? In our two ministries, Fellowship Bible Church and Bethlehem Baptist Church, we are agreed. We are about the same things. We both have the desire to know God's Word, to make it known, to impact the community, to have an outreach.
We here at Bethlehem have the same goal and purpose as those at Fellowship, to reach out to the hurting people, to be an example to people, to see people come to faith in Jesus Christ, to see people rededicate their life, and to see people move ahead in their Christian life. And that is going to happen right here at Fellowship Orange. And we are so excited to see what God is going to do and for us to be a part of the Fellowship family.